Hello, Devin. Today I will be discussing my communication audit for Salt Air Inc. Over the last month, I have analyzed the internal and external communication practices that Salt Air Inc. uses. During the construction of the audit, several artifacts were collected that were supplied as evidence. Using my expertise in communication and effective marketing, I have several recommendations for the organization that can improve Salt Air Inc.'s culture and brand. To begin, let us overview the goals of the communication audit. The purpose of the communication audit is to identify communication strengths and weaknesses, enhance communication effectiveness, and ensure consistency and alignment between culture and brand. The communication audit helps Salt Air Inc. identify its strengths and weaknesses. The audit can identify areas where communication is effective and needs improvement by analyzing various communication channels such as social media platforms, websites, and advertising. The communication audit aims to improve the effectiveness of Salt Air Inc.'s communication efforts. By identifying areas where communication is not working, the organization can improve communication strategies and ensure that its intended audience receives and understands its message. The communication audit helps Salt Air Inc. ensure its communication efforts are consistent and aligned with its goals and values. By reviewing all communication channels and messages, the audit can identify any inconsistencies or discrepancies and help the organization align its communication efforts with its overall strategy. The qualitative research methodology used to collect artifacts and data from the organization chosen, Salt Air Inc., included surveys, in-depth interviews, and observation to determine the organization's internal and external communication processes. The method for collecting information via surveys started by developing questions that would give me insights into the company's employee satisfaction and alignment with the organization's culture and brand. The interviews were conducted on April 17th at the Salt Air Inc. office in Wilmington, North Carolina. Before each interview, I briefly overviewed my report's purpose and answered any interviewee questions. I asked 10 open-ended questions about communication practices and the organization's culture/brand. The method for observing internal communication processes at Salt Air Inc. included identifying the areas of communication that needed to be monitored, like instant messaging and in-person contact at the office. The method for observing external communication processes at Salt Air Inc. included identifying the communication channels the company uses to communicate with external stakeholders like customers and community partners. The results of the audit process show that Salt Air Inc. utilizes communication practices that are transparent and open. The company is focused on getting the job done correctly and serving its customers in the best way possible. Devin, the president, serves as a source of energy around the office and consistently checks in with his employees, which can be attributed to the high employee satisfaction at Salt Air Inc. The survey indicated that employees feel valued and that their contributions make a difference. Salt Air Inc. internally communicates via one central channel called Slack. The company started using the program 2 years ago and is accounted for every employee. Multiple channels within the Slack application have corresponding names such as General, Celebrate Stuff, Fun Stuff, and Office. These channels are utilized mainly by the president and vice president to correspond with employees about updates and changes. Additionally, all employees are encouraged to message and call each other using the Slack system rather than personal phone numbers/emails. Brooke Skipper indicated that this is an attempt to keep everything professional and central. Salt Air Inc. possesses strengths in terms of its consistency with branding and communication practices. The organization is small, which allows the company to get away with communication practices via Slack. Since the application does not experience a heavy volume of information, all employees can read messages. However, one identified weakness is that when more employees join the messaging channel, as the organization grows more extensive, the service may not be appropriate anymore. That is because messages may go without being noticed. Salt Air Inc. externally communicates via social media posts and advertising. The company has a few billboards located in Wilmington, North Carolina. The billboards could be more complex and offer more information from a communication theory standpoint. However, all the billboards feature Salt Air Inc. colors, which are gray and navy. The text and colors remain consistent on all signage, allowing for the company to keep a uniform branding appearance. This makes the company more recognizable. The relationship between Salt Air Inc.'s organizational culture and brand is very close. The organization's culture is revealed by how employees interact with each other and customers. Devin and Brooke are strong leaders who consistently monitor their employees and make them feel valued. Since the organizational culture is aligned with the brand's core values, it leads to a consistent and authentic brand identity. There's a powerful message that Salt Air Inc. is a hardworking and selfless company. That can be determined through Salt Air Inc.'s social media accounts, which frequently post customer testimonies and helpful tips and tricks for heating, cooling, and electrical units. A couple of conclusions can be drawn when analyzing the content of the organization's communication, including the tone, style, and messaging. A screenshot of an Instagram social media post can be examined using communication content analysis. The HVAC company appreciates four-legged friends and externally communicates this to clients by sharing this marketing content. Rather than posting about the company's products and services, the company sees an opportunity to use its love for dogs to resonate with consumers and have the Salt Air Inc. sign behind the dog to provide marketing. This marketing effort is effective because a lot of consumers' attention would be gained from a picture with a dog in it. The communication content is an excellent example of how Salt Air Inc. develops the brand image of friendliness. Salt Air Inc. has its core values posted around the door that everyone has to take to walk out of the building. It reminds everyone of what being a Salt Air Inc. employee means. Salt Air Inc.'s core values being on display indicates that the organization places a high value on communication and transparency with its employees, customers, and visitors. It shows that the organization is proud of its core values and wants to communicate them to everyone who enters the office. Furthermore, displaying core values also suggests that the organization recognizes the importance of a shared purpose and identity. This is because core values are often used to guide decision-making and shape the organization's culture. By displaying these values, the organization is signaling to its employees and stakeholders that it is committed to upholding these values and using them as a basis for decision-making. Overall, the display of the core values in an organization's office can reveal a lot about its communication practices, including its commitment to transparency, shared purpose and identity, and its desire to communicate its values clearly to stakeholders. This social media post by Salt Air Inc. showcases that the company values diversity and inclusion. Blue-collar work is predominantly white males. However, Salt Air Inc. externally communicates that it hires based on qualifications for the job. The caption states, "Our licensed technicians are geared up for maintenance season. Salt Air Inc.'s picture includes a shiny, clean work van with tools and equipment. The social media post indicates that Salt Air Inc. is professional and tidy, and their technicians are well qualified. In addition, the post features a command, prepare for warming temperatures. This communication reminds followers that summer is coming and consumers should get their cooling units checked out to ensure they are running correctly. The communication culture and brand are positive and uplifting. Salt Air Inc. values serving the community and representing a family-owned business. Employees are encouraged to go above and beyond to serve their customers, communicate effectively, and exhibit high expertise. Organizational culture theory explores the shared values, beliefs, and practices that shape employee behavior and organizational outcomes. Organizational culture theory emphasizes the importance of socialization, communication, and leadership in creating and sustaining organizational culture. The environment at Salt Air Inc. is inspiring, and all internal communication was observed to be positive. Employees at Salt Air Inc. are very social and take pride in communicating with one another. The president is at the forefront of socialization, which shows the other employees what he values and believes is necessary. Devin's positive leadership is why Salt Air Inc.'s internal communication practices are top-notch. Organizational control theory is a framework that helps explain how organizations can achieve their goals through control mechanisms. For Salt Air Inc., organizational control theory can be applied in several ways. Salt Air Inc. can use feedback as a control mechanism to encourage employees to continue to improve their performance. Data from the survey indicate that all employees receive weekly and sometimes daily feedback on their job performance. By providing regular employee feedback, the company can help them understand how their work contributes to the organization's overall success. Lastly, Salt Air Inc. uses its organizational control as a control mechanism to ensure employees share common values and beliefs. By fostering a culture of accountability and transparency, Salt Air Inc. ensures its employees align with its goals and objectives. Based on the findings of the communication audit, it is recommended that Salt Air Inc. develops and implements a more creative advertising strategy. The current advertising approach needs to differentiate the HVAC company from local competitors. By developing more creative billboards and local signage, the company can better capture the attention of potential customers and increase brand awareness. As Salt Air Inc. continues to grow, it may become necessary to separate departments to ensure effective communication and collaboration. The communication audit identified that the organization's current structure might need to be more scalable and that it may become more difficult for different departments to communicate effectively as the company grows. Salt Air Inc. must ensure that its messaging is clear, concise, and consistent to communicate policy or procedure changes to employees. It is recommended that Salt Air Inc. take steps to incorporate more inclusivity and diversity into its communication strategies. While the company's current communication efforts embody some diversity, they may not reach diverse and underrepresented groups. Salt Air Inc.'s brand identity needs to be strengthened on social media by establishing a consistent and engaging presence across all relevant platforms. During the communication audit, the company's social media presence was observed to lack a clear and distinctive brand identity. The company's social media accounts appear to be underutilized with infrequent updates and little engagement with followers. This lack of activity makes it difficult for the company to attract a solid following on social media, which can be valuable for brand equity. Thank you for listening to my communication audit. Please consider my 5 recommendations to enhance communication effectiveness at Sol Air Inc.